What steps can you take to improve your health even though you're not quite ready to plunge into the carnivore diet just yet? We'll find out in today's video. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Sylvia and I'm a big city mom. I started this channel and my blog, bigcitymom.com, a year ago after I was able to reverse my autoimmunity. I was so inspired that I overcame all of my inhibitions, and here I am talking to you. So, if you are into health, diet, lifestyle, wherever you are, even if it's a big city like New York, this is a definitely channel for you. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's talk about 5 healthy habits that you can start today without spending any extra money. In fact, you will end up saving money that will improve your health, even though you don't have to be on the carnivore diet. Those of you that follow me for a while know that I was on the paleo-ketogenic diet, and you can think of a paleo-ketogenic diet as nose-to-tail carnivore diet with continuous ketosis. I found a clinic in Hungary known as Paleomedicina. They have a test that tests for your gut permeability. Mine was an absolute and unmitigated disaster, which shouldn't be surprising because my autoimmune symptoms were quite severe as well. In fact, I still have some damage from it. Like if you look at my hands, my fingers are deformed and I have some extra growth here. It doesn't hurt, it's not inflamed, but it seems like it's what's left after the inflammation went away. Feels like a scar tissue. So it took about 10 days before the results started happening. So about, let's say, 60 to 70% of the inflammation went away, and over the next couple of months I was completely symptoms free. So it is an amazing diet. However, it is really restrictive, and I can totally understand that if you don't have some underlying chronic nasty condition, the motivation to go into carnivore diet might not be that high. And the main disadvantage of the carnivore diet is that it really impacts your social life, and that's because, you know, going outside and eating, it becomes almost impossible. There are so many things you just cannot touch, and if you do eat them, you will feel it in your joints the next day. So oftentimes I came to a conclusion like, why even bother? I'll just make my steak or make my pork chops in my air fryer and be happy with that. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be concerned with your health, and every one of us should be working towards better health, better lifestyle, and work towards longevity. So I will share with you 5 good habits you should start today to ensure healthier lifestyle and longevity. If there were only one thing I could tell my younger self, it would be don't drink alcohol. And if you really have to, do it once or twice a year for special occasions. Alcohol is a toxin that is really taxing to our bodies, and our liver has to work really hard to get rid of it from the system. Now, I don't think anybody will argue that regular consumption of hard liquors is anything good, but there is out there this concept of the French paradox, which is if you drink a glass of red wine with your dinner pretty much every day, it will actually have health benefits for you. Now, this concept comes from the laboratory studies that showed that a natural compound found in grape skins, resveratrol, that also makes it to the red wine, has antioxidant and anti-aging properties and some other health benefits. Now, those studies didn't translate to human studies, and furthermore, there was no connection established that drinking actually that resveratrol in the wine has health benefits to humans. But that's the logic explanation of why there is a French paradox and why is it because of the red wine. I happen to think that it has a lot to do with the French preferring unprocessed natural foods. They eat tons of duck pâtés, eggs, butter, and over 500 different types of unpasteurized cheeses. I think that has a lot to do with their overall health than the actual glass of red wine every evening. Another alcoholic beverage credited with some health benefits is beer, and that is because it is often thought that beer improves the work of kidneys and prevents kidney stones, and even mainstream doctors will recommend to drink beer if you have to dissolve some kidney stones. Now, I wouldn't use beer as a strategy to prevent kidney stones. I would think a lot better way is to have a diet that is low in oxalates and low in dairy to prevent kidney stones. Because beer comes with a lot of liability, especially if you drink it every day. So alcohol as is really estrogenic, but hops, herb that is added to beer, is even more estrogenic. Hops have that many phytoestrogens that back in the day only women used to pick hops, because even touching the hops was changing the hormonal balance in women, increasing the estrogen and oftentimes causing earlier menstruation. And the tradition was for men to drink beer to tame them. Because if you ingest that much phytoestrogens, it will make your testosterone to break down into estrogen. And do I need to mention the beer belly? It is a real thing. Oh, but it doesn't end there. I have more bad news about beer, especially if you're a man. Beer is so estrogenic that it will increase the breast milk production. And every woman that try this will tell you that within few hours, if you have a glass of beer, your milk production, your milk supply will increase noticeably. So the best strategy for beer, if you really want to use it really sparingly, if you really want to dissolve your kidney stones, maybe that's when it should be applied. But the regular consumption of beer will be really not beneficial to your health, and it will affect the hormonal balances, both women and men, but men will have a lot worse outcomes. So if you are concerned with health, longevity, you want to have nice waistline, get rid of beer from your diet. And I want to add one more point about alcohol, and I'm moving on to other things, and that's alcohol increases your gut permeability really aggressively. So if you have autoimmunity, leaky gut issues, or generally all kind of gastrointestinal issues, alcohol is a hard no. Stay away from it as long as you can. Don't drink it even in tiny amounts. I remember when I was graduating from college, for a year I decided to party, and so I was going out a lot, at least 2 to 3 times a week, drinking all kind of alcoholic cocktails. So not only I was consuming the alcohol, but all kind of other mixtures and juices and whatever else was added to those cocktails. So what happens is alcohol increases gut permeability, allowing all those artificial synthetic additives to make it into your bloodstream as well, contaminating your body from within. So alcohol is a toxin. If you have autoimmunity or any kind of gut issues, you should stay away from it as much as you can. Another great habit to start today is to eliminate snacking from your diet. Do it now. Go into your pantry and get rid of everything that you like to snack on. You should not be snacking breakfast, lunch, dinner, or maybe even just brunch and dinner. Perhaps if you have some underlying condition that requires you to eat more frequently, or you are pregnant or nursing, you need to eat more frequently. But the rest of us, no excuses. Snacking isn't the way we evolved to eat. In fact, the opposite is true. We probably would have to go out, find food, hunt it, take it back to our dwelling, and then make a meal out of it. So mostly people would eat once or twice a day on a good day. In fact, there's a whole movement called OMAD, 1 meal a day, where people just voluntarily eat once a day and are totally satisfied and thriving. I will link a channel of a carnivore that also does 1 meal a day in the description box, so check her out. When you eat, whether it is a high protein, high carb diet or high in fat diet, insulin will be always activated. And when insulin is activated, your body will prioritize the function of digesting and assimilating of food. Now, there are other things that your body has to accomplish metabolically throughout the day and hormonally. So it is a good idea to give your gut a rest between the meals and allow the insulin to drop so that other hormones can be activated. Now, I'm not saying that you have to eat one meal a day today, but it's a great idea to cut out snacking and stick to breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the consistent times. If you are really disciplined, or if you are into ketogenic diet or carnivore diet, you will quickly learn that you are actually doing great on eating brunch and dinner, and some days you can just go without lunch and then just eat dinner and you are doing just fine without feeling any kind of irritation or lightheaded because your sugar dropped. And if you get to that point, it is a really great sign that you are metabolically healthy. And another great habit to start today is to hydrate properly. And you are probably thinking, I'm going to be talking about drinking enough water. And if you Google healthy habits, there will be billion blog posts and articles about drinking enough water, and the rule of thumb is drink about 8 glasses of water. But could you drink too much? We all know you could drink not enough, but could you have adverse health effects if you drink too much? And the answer is yes. And that's because to absorb water, hydrogen from water, our body needs adequate amounts of minerals or electrolytes. And if you're continuously drinking water, but it is not a mineral-rich water, then your body actually will start losing electrolytes trying to get rid of the excess water because it doesn't have enough minerals to absorb it. So some of the most dehydrated people are the ones that just drink lots and lots of water without putting too much thought into it. Now, I think the great rule of thumb is to look at your urine, and if it's too dark, you're not drinking enough, but if it's too light, you're drinking too much, and your urine should be light yellow color. But it doesn't end there. Don't drink too much water at your meal times. You shouldn't fill up on water before you start eating. Both traditional Chinese medicine and Indian Ayurveda will tell you that drinking too much around the meal time will suppress the digestive fire. In other words, if you fill up on water and then, let's say, eat steak, this will require really strong stomach acid to break it down, but if you have water in your stomach, that acid will get diluted and you will experience bloating and gas in your gut because your body will be struggling to digest it. Both traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda recommend that you take just a few sips of water at your meal times, and it shouldn't be the ice cold water because that too suppresses your digestive fire. And I have yet another interesting finding about water. So if you drink mostly water as means of hydration, which you should. Tea, coffee, sodas, or any other sugary juices should not be basis of your hydration. It should be mostly water. So when you get to that point of drinking water mostly, your body will regulate itself and it will tell you how much water you need, and you won't even have to bother looking at your urine. Now, to step up your game even more, you can add a pinch of salt to your water, and the absorption of water and hydration of your body from within will get improved. Well, they are over the counter, so they cannot have any side effects. That's what I thought about painkillers. And I learned the hard way because painkillers will kill a lot more than just your pain. A few years ago now, many years ago now, I had a car accident that left me with a head injury, and I had really bad headaches just about every day for about 2 years, and so I was taking painkillers for it. And I didn't take acetaminophen because I did enough research to know that extended use of acetaminophen would result with the liver damage, and so I thought that ibuprofen was a lot better option. Except that I didn't know that extended use of ibuprofen will damage my gut lining, and it is another factor in increasing of gut permeability. And so I must have taken ibuprofen for about 2 years, typically like 200 milligrams tablets twice a day. Sometimes I would get away with once a day, and I am quite sure that that round of ibuprofen for almost 2 years contributed to my issues with a leaky gut. I made a whole video about 5 ways I ruined my gut. I will link it in the description box. Definitely check it out. But if we are talking about health and longevity, it is a great idea not to take painkillers on the regular basis. I don't think you should be even taking it as often as for the menstrual issues. It should be a lot less than that. And if you do need to take painkillers on the regular basis, a good idea is to find out the root cause of that pain and address it by changing your diet, lifestyle, and nutrition. Too often we take sleep for granted. That sleep is critical to just about every aspect of our health. Now, there are many different products and gadgets on the market you can get that claim that they improve the quality of sleep, and I tried some of them myself. But one tip I have for you today is don't drink and don't eat too close to bedtime, and this one doesn't cost you anything. Ideally, you should stop eating about 5 hours before you go to sleep. Now, that is not doable for many people because of their jobs and family life. So even if you can do 3 hours, you will still reap major benefits. I typically can eat my dinner the earliest at 6 p.m. unless I choose to skip dinner altogether, which I do from time to time. So when you are asleep, your body needs to detox and engage in all kinds of restorative processes. The energy from your body should not be going into digesting and breaking down of food. It is similar with drinking, although it doesn't disturb the detoxing processes as much as food does. But what drinking too close to bedtime will do, it can wake you up in the middle of the night for the trip to the bathroom. And this can shorten or cut out one of the deep sleep cycles, and there are a lot of people that actually have hard time falling back into sleep. So if you can stop drinking about 2 hours before you go to bed, that will also have major benefits to the quality of your sleep. No matter which diet you are following, these 5 healthy habits are guaranteed to improve your overall health. Now, if you are ready to take a plunge into the carnivore way of eating, I have many videos about that, so check them out on my channel. And in the meantime, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!